Pep Guardiola was in confessional mode when he bumped into an old friend earlier this season. Manchester City had started the season brightly enough, but their self-critical, driven manager didn't talk about bland targets and improvements in his second campaign in England. Blues boss Guardiola was brutally self-critical. He said, "I know I have to deliver this season, big time. The backing I've been given has been great. Now is the time to show what we can do." With his team now established as Premier League record breakers after 15 consecutive wins, the high-energy boss is proving good to his word. And to think, a year ago Guardiola was being ridiculed for admitting he did not practice tackling in training. Man City had just been smashed 4-2 by Jamie Vardy and Leicester to end their lingering title hopes, and the critics lined up to bash Guardiola. They branded him naive and claimed he would have to adapt his purest principles to succeed in the hurly-burly of the Premier League. How wrong they were, and 12 months later these same pundits are running out of superlatives to eulogize about Guardiola and his record-breaking team. Wednesday night's record-breaking win at Swansea means he holds the record for most successive top-flight victories in England, Germany, 19 with Bayern Munich, and Spain, 16 with Barcelona. So much for Guardiola needing to adapt, and, in the words of Frank Sinatra, he has done it his way. City's passing, possession-based style is the same he played at Barcelona and Bayern. Guardiola knew it was his personnel, rather than his philosophy, which needed to change. Pablo Zabala, Gaël Clichy and Bakary Sagna no longer had the legs to play in the full-back positions, which are so important to his belief in pushing them forward to overload the midfield. Nor was Claudio Bravo the safe pair of hands he needed to replace Joe Hart. Guardiola remedied this, splashing out nearly £160 million on the quartet of full-backs Kyle Walker, Benjamin Mendy, Danilo and keeper Ederson. That splurge was a major chunk of the £360 million City have spent during his 18 months in charge, but he does not just rely on Sheikh Mansour's thick checkbook. This is a coach who improves players, as evidenced by the form of Raheem Sterling, Leroy Sane, Fabian Delph and Nicolas Otamendi this season. He has Sergio Aguero working harder, too. Guardiola also cites his Blues team spirit. He has fostered a camaraderie which is the equal of that in any rival dressing room, if not better. The Wi-Fi is blocked in the changing rooms and canteen of their CFA training complex to encourage players to stop looking at their phones and mix with one another. The Catalan will not tolerate any cliques and encourages his squad to celebrate every win together. Guardiola also brought all the players and staff together to watch Monday's Champions League last 16 draw, and he makes everyone feel they are an important part of their success. "The spirit was there last year, even though we lost games," he said. Of course, when you win a lot of games it helps you to build and create a great team spirit. But last season we didn't lack that. We were more upset because the results were not what we expected. It's impossible to win 15 league games in a row just by playing football and through tactics. Forget it. It helps a lot, and that's why you are a manager, to know what the opponent will do, how they play. But of course, there are other things you need, like how we watched the Champions League draw together. Other things, like how we celebrate after the game in the locker room, not just the players, but all together, including the players who did not play. That is the basis to create something at the club. After that you have the tactics and the football, but that is the first reason for the results. If you are all together, you are a stronger team. Guardiola is like other great coaches before him, such as Sir Alex Ferguson and Bob Paisley, whose sole focus was on winning the next game. He has joked he will kill anyone who becomes complacent over their record-winning run and thinks the title is already won. "What we've done up until now doesn't guarantee we're going to win at the end of the season," he said. "People may think we have already won the Premier League, but I don't think that. There are still many games to play and we have to keep working hard. If they do, then who knows how many more records Guardiola and City will break."